What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the AM Zone podcast. Here we have,
Anoushka.
and we're going to be talking about her life story, how she became successful, as you guys have seen in the Instagram reel. If not, you guys should check that out. So just tell us a little bit about yourself for the viewers, your level of success, just kind of things we went over on the IG reel, your age, your success, and where you've come from.
Well, I would like to start off with that success is definitely subjective. You define making money as success, sure. I've done that. My name is Anoushka. I am 21, turning 22 in a month. I do e-commerce on Shopify. If you're not familiar with what that is, it's essentially selling things online. I do a blend of dropshipping and I have my own inventory here in the US. I've done this for 2 years, you could say now, and I have 3 brands that I run with a team of about 11 people.
Wow. So that's a handful. That's a lot. That's a
Thank
lot.
you.
How are you able to do that on a day-to-day basis? What keeps you going?
What keeps me going? My end goal has never been to make money. It's always been whether I wanted to be a doctor or an international human rights lawyer. My end goal was always to help people. So my long-term plan right now with my brands is to build them, build up the portfolio, and then sell them, and then with that money start nonprofits. So that's
Wow.
what keeps me going.
So more of like a philanthropist kind of role eventually.
Yes.
Okay, wow.
I try to do my part on a day-to-day, weekly basis as well, but
Mhm.
the real goal definitely requires more capital. And unfortunately, or fortunately, depending on who you are, money is what makes the world go round. And with
Right.
business, you hit the ground running.
Exactly. Wow. Wow. So I know you mentioned just giving back and doing where you can. That's what something I've noticed with a lot of entrepreneurs who are extremely successful is they always give back. Now, does that like kind of set you like you made X amount of money? Does that kind of help set you towards your goals a lot more? I guess allow you to be more consistent.
Making money or having goals?
Just making money and giving back, like Elon Musk or Bill Gates, they have foundations they set up to give back to the people, the needy. As for you, how does that make you feel when you give back?
Well, I personally give back to a cause that's very personal to me. My mother has stage 4 breast cancer, which is a big part of my entrepreneurial journey as well. So I always try to donate and give back to either Mediviver, which is the foundation to find a cure for stage 4 breast cancer, or to families affected by like mothers or parents with breast cancer. And how does it make me feel? It's definitely the more fulfilling part of what I do. Right now I'm at a stage, as we were talking earlier, and as I said in the reel, where my business is on autopilot. And so that's definitely, so giving back is definitely the more fulfilling part of what I do.
Some of the habits, let's talk about the habits, the things you've done to get to where you're at. I know for a lot of successful people, they always like, millionaire habits, like wake up early or, just having a set routine, doing your bed. Is that real for you?
I think that the whoever said that consistency beats talent any day is 100% right. But I will be very, very candid and very, very honest. I've always been termed a talented person. They're like, oh, you're always very good at what you do, whether it's like singing or dancing or art or business or math or science, whatever it was, like in school or out of school. And I wasn't very disciplined or consistent. So, but to counter that, I think consistency and routine and discipline, habits are a huge part of becoming successful, regardless of what area you define like success in. For me, I think that when I implemented routine, that's when my business saw like exponential growth. Again, like you don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day to make $1 million, but waking up at a set time every day, having that morning routine, having specific hours that you set to work is going to allow and reach for inevitable success.
Okay. Or hard work beats a talent when a talent doesn't work hard. Right? That's what you're
Yes,
saying.
that's another saying, but I think there is a saying that says consistency beats talent. And I think that, yeah, not even hard work, because you can work really hard at something, but you're not necessarily working smart. So I don't want to say hard work, because I know there are people that like slog like 12 hours doing like extreme laborious work, but they're trading their time for money.
Right.
So that's still hard work, and I still respect that. But in terms of, if you want to build a seven-figure business, regardless of what industry you're in, sometimes you have to work, well, not sometimes, I believe, like all the time, you have to work hard, smart and not hard.
Okay, so it's a mixture.
Yeah,
Work
yeah.
smarter, not harder. Hard work beats the talent when the talent doesn't
Of
work
course.
hard.
And then hours, that's something you definitely cannot, take a shortcut through. Like initially there will be, hours that you have to put in even if you are working smart. There's just no shortcut for, putting in the work.
No shortcuts, and you're dropping a lot of gems. And I don't know if like the viewers are actually understanding. What advice would you have for the viewers who are searching for their dreams and have not yet accomplished it and are crushed right now?
I think that comes back honestly to the question you asked me earlier about consistency and habits.
Okay.
And I said this in the reel as well, and that's the difference between output and input goals. So your output goal is, I want to have a business that generates $1 million in revenue every month. What field are you in? What, let's just say dropshipping, for example. Saying that you want $1 million business is one thing, but setting input goals, like, okay, how am I going to get to $1 million business? Well, I need a product to sell. Obviously I need to scale it and things like that, but it all starts with the product. How do you find the product?
Right.
So I'm going to test 10 to 50 or 100, depending on, again, how much hours you put in or how many hours you get other people to put in for you. Depending on that, you just, I'm going to test 10 to 50 products per week. And that's your input goal. When you meet those like mini goals, those habits, you're able to eventually in time see the success of, well, $1 million business. If, like, sometimes you blink and it happened and you just don't know how that happened. And so anybody who's feeling discouraged, again, sounds extremely cliche, but you can't give up.
Don't give up.
Yeah, don't give up. And sometimes, sometimes you have to take a step back, re-strategize. Like, are you working smart and not hard? So like I had said, like I referenced earlier, and I said that, you can put in the hours or you can get someone else to do it for you. If you do have the capital, well, in this specific case of e-commerce, hire people to test products for you. So that way you're still putting in the effort, but you're paying someone else to do it for you. And then just taking a step back, re-strategizing, seeing if your method is, because you can definitely, do door-to-door sales. If you're cold calling, okay, you can make 100 phone cold calls a day. Is your script, up to par? So yeah, take a step back every once in a while, re-strategize whatever industry you're in, but you have to keep at it. And I know so many people in so many different industries that have, I see them, feeling defeated, and but they keep at it, and it'll turn around so quickly. I have a lot of friends and family in businesses that just require like cold outreach in general, and it's discouraging. It really is. But again, you just need that one call. You just need that, one person to sign with you, and it changes everything. And it's always, and this is something I realized, because business has ups and downs, it's always easier to be consistent when the money's coming in.
Okay.
Right. When the money's coming in and everything's good, you want to work. When you dip and sales go down, or clients go down, people sign off with you, it's hard to get back into it. It's super easy to work towards something if it's working, but up until it is, or up until it isn't, it can get very hard.
Okay, so it can be discouraging. So be willing to accept rejection, because rejection is a part of success, including failure.
Oh yeah, 100%. If you're, I have a friend, shout out Leo, actually. He always says that he wants to fail a lot, because the more you fail, the more you know what not to do. The more mistakes you make, the more, you'll notice as well, like as you are in your business or in your field, the failures and the problems that you deal with on a day-to-day basis will change. If I reflect my issues that I'm dealing with now, I'm like, stock being held up at customs, I'm dealing with, customers complaining about broken product, and I have like, a list of 400 customers, whereas like before I didn't even have 400 customers to be like, period, in like a span of 6 months. Now your issues change as you grow and as your business grows.
In your pursuit of being an entrepreneur, where did you see yourself, being where you are now, like 2 years or 3 years ago, where you are now? What did you think yourself was like, I guess, like looking like? What was your identity?
I had no idea. I had no freaking idea. Coming back to what I was talking about, actually. So, the reason I started business was I was born and raised in Dubai, and I moved here to the States because my mom got sick, and I took a gap year, getting out of high school, going to college.
Okay.
I started the business because someone I knew was doing it, and I was like, let's see what this is about. I mean, they weren't like successful just yet, but they were just trying it out, and they were pretty close to me. I started just doing that for fun to bide my time. When it came to accepting my college application, when I got into U Chicago, I wasn't making money. I was not successful in terms of like monetary terms, but I just saw more promise in the business than like 12 years of school to become a lawyer, because my bottom line was always, like I said, to help people. And I just saw more with business. You hit the ground running. I saw more potential in sticking with my business than I did going to school. So when I said no to go to college, that was like I just took a plunge. I really did. And I was like free falling with no parachute. I did not know what 21-year-old Anoushka was going to be like. I definitely had vision for myself. I always knew that I wanted to be successful, and again, not in terms of money, but in terms of the impact I'm making in the world, and like the things I'm able to give my friends and family.
Powerful.
But yeah, I did not know that this is where I would be, or that I would be running 7-figure businesses. But that just shows you how much like things can change in 2 years or even a year, really. But I always knew that I wanted to make it big in terms of impact, in terms of business success, all of that.
You had things you've wanted, but not necessarily the vision of where you were going to be in the next 2 years.
Yeah, all I
Okay.
knew is that I had to make it work. Well, in this world, like they tell you that you need a degree to be successful at what you're doing. I decided not to go to college. My whole family was like, "What the hell?" I was not it would have made sense if I was like making money and I didn't go to college. Then they would have been like, "Okay, I was not making money and I didn't go to college," and they were like, what are you doing? But I knew that I had to make it work.
Right.
Because I made this huge decision not to go to college, and so I just knew that it had to work. And I think that, to add like one more thing, like the people that I was watching on YouTube and like learning from, the people that I would call my mentors, really, within a year they became some of my closest friends. And so
Wow.
that's something that when you look back and you realize, oh my god, I've come so far. You realize that, again, super cliche, but the only person limiting you is yourself. If you think to yourself, okay, like I'm making, I don't know, what does an average job make, right? Like 5,000 per month. I want to make 10,000, and I'll be comfortable. I want to make $10,000 per month. I mean, Grant Cardone, he says 10x your goals, right? Say like you want to make 100,000 per month, and let's just say you end up making 80. Well, hey, $80,000 per month is still $70,000 more than what you initially planned.
Right.
So just the sky is genuinely the limit. And yeah, like so much can change. So when your mentors become your best friends, people that you looked up to, and they were like celebrities on Instagram almost, and now they're like a phone call away from me, and
Wow, yeah.
we exchange business ideas. It really does show you, like, if you put your mind to something, you really can do it.
Okay, so think big and ask, and you shall receive.
Oh yeah, 100%. You
Okay.
miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
Just one shot in that direction is one step closer to where
Oh
you
yeah,
to
100%.
where you need to be. These mentors of yours who are now your friends, was it more you are the 5 friends that you hang out with? Was it kind of like that for you?
100%.
Okay.
I definitely don't think that, I even like, because I was young. I was 19 and I had just moved here. I didn't really know anybody here. I didn't have any friends here. So first of all, I wasn't really hanging out with anyone.
Right.
But when I did started making, new friends, nothing wrong with like any career, any position. But when I was hanging around people that, were working 9 to 5s, or not working in industries that I necessarily identify with, and spend every weekend, drinking. And again, nothing wrong with drinking. I love a good drink. But the conversations that you're having aren't forwarding you in any way. You catch it and you feel it. It's very low vibrational. You feel guilty. Not that having a good time should make you feel guilty, because that's another struggle. Like as an entrepreneur, you always feel like, well, you have to be hustling 24/7.
It can get very addicting.
It can get addicting, and you can get extremely hard on yourself. A lot of entrepreneurs have very warped like self-images. They have a lot of parental relationship issues in their head, like a lot of they need validation
Mm-hmm.
from not just parents but like friends and like externally, to, well, because being an entrepreneur is a leap regardless of whether everybody in your life was supportive or not. There's always like question marks around like, what do you do, are you actually successful? So, have a good time, have good company, your network is your net worth kind of thing. It does make a big difference. Well, we met through and
Exactly.
we have similar mindsets, and I'm sure that we could, grab dinner, have a really good laugh and chat. Not that we have to be talking about business,
Exactly.
but you just know that the company you're surrounding yourself with has good energy,
Exactly.
has good like drive and passion. And at the end of the day, when you come home, everybody's gonna work towards that goal, regardless of what it
Right.
is.
It's like that is our workspace, or more so, like we're a huge company,
Mm-hmm.
and everybody has their own business, and we come together to like happy hour, like how we met,
Exactly.
or not met, but like we met again, I guess, for the IG
Yeah.
reel. That was our way of like winding down, kind of like
Mm.
just getting to know each other, laughs, shits and giggles, you know.
100%. Yeah.
And I
And it
think
was
like
great that we met. I'm so glad that we met. Your question, hit me with
okay,
it.
we talked about your business, your money, everything. Let's get to know more about you. What were the beginnings like for you
Business or of life?
of just life? Like, how did you?
Loaded question. Good question though. Well, who is the person I am today? That's probably a starter question. Well, I'm somebody that loves to work hard, play hard. I've always been that way. It's why I didn't become a doctor, because although I was very good at science and like, it was the very obvious route for me, I just knew that doctors don't work hard, play hard until like they're 35,
Yeah.
That was just not for me. I was born and raised in Dubai. Life is definitely very different there. Over here, I think you can go to public school. Over there, all schools are private. Parents pay for your education, like K through 12. Everyone in Dubai has like a vision. Even the kids that you go to school with. It's just when your parents are paying for your high school education,
Hmm.
it's automatic that like, oh, you're gonna go to college, and because Dubai is or the UAE is such a young country, everyone goes to college in the States or the UK. It's a cycle in and out. Like, okay, once you graduate, you're gonna go to college in the US, you're gonna go to college in the UK, you're gonna do something. Over here, you have the options of going to trade school, or you have like you can go to college, you don't have to go to college, although it's always propagated to go. But
Hmm.
the idea of not going to college, or like I said, going to trade school or cosmetology school, or picking up a skill, is way more accepted
Hmm.
here. Whereas in Dubai, everybody goes to college, everybody's going to do some kind of corporate career, some kind of career path. Even if you're going to be a business person, you're still going to go to college and study like business studies or entrepreneurship. So that was my background. So I guess I was in a very driven environment
Okay.
growing up in Dubai. Everybody there is no homelessness there. Everybody there is either a student, works a job, or has a business. Everybody has an income. Obviously, not every there's disparity in the income levels, but everyone there is working. So you're in a very working class. Everyone's doing something. You're surrounded by this idea where like you have to make money. It doesn't have to be a lot. Again, everybody has different levels of drive, but you have to do something. So that definitely probably shaped and pushed me. I'm obviously South Asian. I have an Indian background. Pushed me to do something, make something. My parents weren't necessarily, oh, be a doctor, lawyer, engineer. Definitely like make an impact, have an impact, do something. I think moving to the States is what, it put me in an unknown environment. I didn't know anybody here.
Everybody just wasn't on the same frequency. You feel like everybody in Dubai breathed some level of excellence.
Little bit, yeah. I think that
Okay.
they're both different. I don't prefer one over the other necessarily. I'm a proud American now. I'm an American.
Okay.
They're just different, but it's just, I think it's just the basic like you grow up like 18, 19 years in one country, and then you get put in a different country. You know nobody. You
Right.
know, you don't really know. I mean, I came here like for family, like for familiar reasons, but you're just like, okay, well, what am I doing? Like,
Hmm.
okay, I always did want to come to the States though, but you get put in a new environment, and you're like, okay, this is now my playground. Like, what can I do here? But yeah, that's me. I think I've always wanted to give back, always been work hard, play hard, because there's no point in like building a castle if you're never going to live in it, right?
Right.
A lot of people, and this is not just like people in general, like even within entrepreneurs, there are entrepreneurs who like work super hard and like they save a ton of money, but there's like what after, like you're making all this money, what are you gonna do with it,
Okay.
and you don't have to have a family, you don't have to give back. It's
Hmm.
always nice to, but like, oh, are you going to travel? Are you going to start more businesses? Like, what's your end goal? Because it can get very easy to get caught. It can get very easy to get caught up in like the entrepreneurial rat race. You might have escaped the 9 to 5, but well, you're not really chasing anything. You're just chasing your tail.
What does end goal look like for you? Retirement.
I want to retire by 30,
30. Okay.
but retirement for me, if you make me like sit in one place and do nothing, I will go crazy. So when I say retirement, I just mean I'm not actively necessarily working on something. I definitely want to have a portfolio of some sorts, whether that be maybe e-commerce businesses I'm just invested in, because now I've been doing that, and at that point I would have been doing it since I'm so young, and so I'd definitely have an affinity for it. um, Real estate is always like the classic that everybody loves to look at, and I definitely want to be making decisions, running something of my own, maybe not as actively. Retirement, I just want to travel. I love traveling.
Traveling.
Yeah, traveling is something that I've been to so many countries, I don't even know how many. Like, I love to travel. I love to, because I grew up, like I said, in Dubai, and that's like a melting pot. My high school actually like holds the Guinness World Record for the most nationalities in one school.
What?
So yeah, like being different is being normal to me. That's just the environment that I grew
Wow.
up in.
Yeah.
So traveling, have a family one day, hopefully, build my own little world. Yeah, that's what retirement looks like for me. I don't think that retiring when you're 65 is like old news.
Right.
Everybody saves all their travel dreams and all their like bucket list stuff for like when they're 65.
Hmm.
Number one, are you even gonna wanna do those things when you're 65? And number two, the bigger question, are you gonna be physically able to do those things? Life is
Exactly.
in the today. Again, don't build a castle that you're never gonna live in.
That was a lot. If you could tell your younger self, like a lessons learned kind of thing, like if you could do better when you were younger, what would you tell your younger self?
I don't wanna I don't wanna placate your question by saying this, but I wouldn't do anything different.
Okay.
Not that I'm the most successful person on planet Earth, not that, again, I'm not Elon Musk per se, but I like what I'm doing. I do, and everything that's happened, every decision, wrong or right, I've made has led me to where I am today. And so I wouldn't trade that experience for the world, really.
Right.
I will say though, being disciplined and learning how to be disciplined it's something I struggle with for sure, especially because like once you get into it, like you're building your business, you're working like 10 to 16-hour days,
Hmm.
you're doing it, it's your routine, you're fine. Once you scale and you get out of it and things kind of go on autopilot, you can get complacent. I've definitely got complacent. It's like, oh well, like
We're
how
human.
much money do I really need to make? I'm 20 or I'm 21. Sure, I'm making like what, like I think when I had this thought, I was like, okay, I'm doing like 300K revenue per month, and I remember like when I first hit my like 100K profit month for the first time, it's like, okay, well, I'm making 100K a month, like what do like my businesses, what more do I need, you
Hmm.
know? And you can definitely get complacent, but then that's when your goals come into the picture, right? Like you have to make sure you realign yourself, because it's very easy to get complacent. It's very easy, and not even complacent like in the way that people think. Like I'm not talking
You,
about.
you you can easily get lost in getting comfortable and not have
Exactly.
direction when you don't set your goals.
100%.
Mm.
So, it's like, okay, well, I made 100K profit this month. Like, next month, let's do like 500K. And then you have to have that end goal in mind, regardless of what that may be for you. But I definitely, if I had to go back and say, I was like, discipline is very, very important. And it's hard to come by. It really, really is, especially with like, I'm going to sound like a boomer, but like with our phones these days, and like
Yes.
losing focus, it's so easy to lose focus. Like my phone has buzzed in my back pocket at least 20 times since we've started this
Yeah.
podcast, and like that might be Shopify notifications, it might be my team reaching out to me, it might just be TikTok or Instagram, my friends are posting. It Focus is so hard to come by.
Hmm.
And if you can teach yourself how to focus and be disciplined, life changing skill regardless what you do. Even if you do like, I don't know, construction work. Like focus, discipline, those things are extremely hard to come by, especially once you're already set in your ways and you're an adult. So yeah, maybe I would go back and tell my younger self to work on discipline habits.
Okay. I appreciate you for being on this podcast, this platform, and being out here, taking time out
Of
of your day.
course.
And if there's nothing else you want to share with the viewers, then I appreciate you guys for watching. I hope you guys were inspired, motivated, got something out of this, any type of value. If you got that value, make sure to comment in the comment section below what things you've noticed that you would want to share with others that, might impact your life. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe, give a like down below, and peace. Thank you.
Thank you guys.